Buenos dias a todos. Safe practices. Don't forget your face mask. When you're taking off your face mask, don't forget to take it off by the handles. Do not touch the front parts of the face. If you're going out and you're coming back, you put it immediately in soapy water. Do not touch the front part. Well, I'm just using it for this period before I go to another class. So I'm just going to hold it down like this, not touching the top and resting it here. All right, girls. So I am in blue, symbolic of the month of May. I'm wearing my Marian jersey and I'm coining our art. So first year infants, you will not know this, but normally for the month of May, St. Joseph Girls RC, we would have a procession around our large school courtyard where the whole school will say the rosary and each girl will bring a flower from home and they will drop it at our image of Our Lady, right? Now, when we say in the rosary, we lift all our intentions. We pray for our family, our friends, the community, the country, the world. And we ask God, we ask Mary to intercede for us on things that are important to us. So that so first year infants, you may not have experienced that, where we would come as a school community and pray for our intentions. So coining that for the month of May, we are going to do a flower. Now I'm quite aware we are in a state of emergency. You cannot get resources. I myself could not get resources, so I recycled my resources, which you will see, right? Some of the things I just reused it again and I colored over it to give it a different impact. So parents, family, friends, aunts, uncles, I am asking you to assist in that area, right? I have not given specific measurements because I don't know what you have and we are working with what you have. All right. So first year infants, you have the options of doing any flower, right? The sunflower or the ginger lily. Second year infants, I want you to display two flowers for me. I want you to display either this one, or two of this one, or two of that one. Your color options is totally up to you. All right, I want you to be creative. All right. So when we look at flowers in particular, right? When we look at flowers in particular, we see they are always attractive. So here in this flower, we can see the technique of the wash, which I taught you. You see the light amount of the soft light coloring with a fusion of a little bit of color. That's also, you can do that in your wash. All right. And most flowers tend to have 5 petals. Then we have your generic cosmos, which is the center, and a little more than 5 petals here. The heliconias, we're not doing this one in particular. We're looking at the ginger lily. Okay, so this is the effect. So I know in the last lesson, I taught you some ginger lily designs. Oh no, that was second year. Okay, so first year, we're continuing what we have learned. All right. All right, so for the sunflower, what you would need is to get some lined paper. Notice I colored it, right? Because my paper just, it wasn't, I'm recycling my paper and I want 2 circles. My crayons, I use crayons. I use a straw, a strip of green, a fold of paper of green, right? So here we have, so these will make this orange and this yellow will make the front part, the face, the flower, all right? So we take the strip. Firstly, the strip must be folded in half like this. So that's why you're seeing it looking like that, right? It's folded in half. And the first circle, right? You put the base of each strip at the bottom of it, right? So that yellow paper, you're gonna cut it into strips, 5 strips. Some of you, if you have more paper, you don't have to stick to 5. You can put more than 5, because it will determine how big your flower will look. All right. So I went with a little more than 5, but I wanted to start with at least 5. For those of you who may not have plenty paper, you could start with 5. If you have more, more would really look fuller, right? So your 5 bits of paper, you're on your first circle, then you put your second circle there. Oh, my computer is giving me some trouble. All right. Come on. Right. So while we're waiting to load up, right? So here we have, I used more paper, right, to get more petals, right? And here we got more petals. And when I stuck, if you look front and back, I have my circle. I took each petal and I just kind of pluffed it up. Because when you first do it, it just looks flat. But if you push it up, it gives it that nice, rich look. All right. To make the leaf, you fold it in half. All right. And notice it's an elongated C. It's the letter C. Can you see the letter C here? Right? And this is the open part. And I'm going to cut on this bold line here. When I cut, I am going to make one line in the middle, right? That is the line of the folded C. Remember we had it here, right? So that is the line in the middle. This is what we will see here, right? You will see that line in the middle here, which you will outline. And then I want you to outline the leaf blade because we really want it to pop and then make some V's. We have one V, two V's. If you want, you can make more V's. So this is what your leaf is going to look like. All right. You take that extra strip of green and wrap it around. I use a straw. If you have a pencil, if you have a coquille stick, if you have a stick, anything that is narrow and long that you can use for the stem, use it. And then we attach all parts by gluing. All right, so let me just stop share and show you. So here we have, this is the wrapping of the green around my straw and my leaf. I just attach my leaf by gluing. All right. So notice the front and the back has a circle. To fluff it up, I did this. My own, I had more paper, so I did more than 5 strips of paper. Right? If you have more paper, I think if you put more strips, you're going to get a better impact. You'll get a fuller looking flower. Okay? So let's see the other flower now. Okay, so we are making the ginger lily and the width of your strip of paper, again, we are stripping, but you're leaving one line in the middle here and you're making lines at the other side, right? Remember we learned how to curl paper? Well, this is the concept we are going with. So here we have the strip for the stem, we have the part for the leaf and my straw. Once again, we roll. So remember, let me just stop share. Right. So you're going to cut it like this. I just did up to this point. Right? You hold it and you roll it. See how it starts to roll already? Hold it and you roll it. Okay? So you roll all of it. First, you need to roll that strip. So here we have, you take your time and roll each strip until you get a full line of rolls. Right? And then when you get your full line of rolls, you wrap it around your straw or a pencil or any long, narrow thing that will represent a straw. The leaf, same thing, you make an elongated C, right? But this time the veins are in lines, it's in strips. Right? So here I have, so the veins are in strips. Notice it's long and I wanted it to have an interesting effect. So I pinched it this way. I pinched it, stuck it in the straw. So it gives that kind of bent look. It looks almost natural. Looks like a real ginger lily. Okay? So your picture for me, I want to see it in a vase. Let me see. Right. I want to see what your flowers will look like in a vase. If you don't have a vase, you could use a bottle. If you don't have a bottle, you could use a glass. All right. I want you to be creative and I want you to use what you have. Nothing must be that you had to go out and buy. Okay? If you look carefully at my work, you would have seen that that some of these things they were recycled. It was work that was there before, which I just took and did over by coloring over. That's what I want you to do. All right. So it's twofold. The month of May, the month of Mary at St. Joseph Girls RC, we have this little thing where we pray. Two things I want you to do is I want you to pray. While you're doing your flower, a flower always makes somebody feels happy. It brings joy, right? And right now we need joy, a lot of joy. So while you're doing it together with whoever, I want you to always enjoy the moment. And I want you to say a prayer for joy back to Trinidad, joy, freedom, happiness, peace in our country. All right, guys. So I look forward to flowers or flower. First year infants, you're doing one flower for me. Second year infants, you're doing two flowers for me. When you're displaying it for me, I don't want to see it flat. I want to see it, and you're going to present it for me on your table. Put a beautiful table, put a beautiful surface. I want to see your vase and I want to see your flower, right? So my camera can't pick up this on a table, right? But I want to see your display. Okay? All right, girls. Have fun with mommy, with abuelo, abuela, tío, tía, hermano, hermana. Have fun. I want you to have fun. So again, safe practices. Notice I'm holding it by the handles like this, making sure my nose and my mouth is covered. Put it around my ear. Social distancing, washing your hands. Adios.